Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Bella with Bella Gitana Tarot. So happy Easter. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Easter holiday with your family and your loved ones. And if you don't celebrate it, that's okay. But I wanted to first address something before I get started with the Lovebird messages reading from the Divine Masculine. I just want you guys to be more mindful in the comments because, you know, this journey is already really hard enough as it is. And so I know a lot of you could be in the beginning stages of the journey and you're in a lot of pain. And you know, when we're in pain, we do things that are usually coming from the ego, right? Because we're hurt and we want to hurt somebody, right? And so I noticed that some of you are in that stage and it comes across in the comments, you know. And I just want you to keep in mind that when you're commenting, you know, the hurt that you're feeling or the anger or whatever you want to say about your masculine, other people are reading these comments too. And that's going to bring their vibe down, you know, because it's going to put them in a negative place where they're going to be like, yeah, mine did that too, you know. And it's like you don't want to revel in that energy or stay stuck in the past. Okay. So I just really want you guys to think about that before you comment. And also, it's one of those things where if you're not interested in being reunited with your person, you know, then why are you watching tarot readings? That's another thing too. It's like, I'm going to be blunt with you guys. I don't sugarcoat things. And it's fine if you don't want to reunite with them and maybe you just want to check up on them to see what's going on with them. But we don't want to hear in the comments that you don't want him back. You know, like it's just really useless. And it's just like, why are you even commenting that? You know, it's like, keep it to yourself because then you're bringing other people down. Okay. So, and another thing too is like, you guys have to be mindful of the things that you're saying to yourself and what you're writing out in comments because words have power, you know what I mean? So if you're saying my masculine's an idiot and he's never going to grow and you're writing that out, your words are going to be like a spell, right? And that's going to keep your person stuck. You know what I'm saying? So instead of pointing the finger and putting your person in a negative light and saying these harsh things about him, why don't you say something positive? Like, my masculine loves me. My masculine is growing. He's learning his lessons. You know what I mean? Like, it's a totally different shift that puts you in a better mood and a better vibration. And it helps other people too in the collective, especially if they see your comment, you know? And so I just wanted to address that because I see some of you comment on here and I understand the pain that you're going through because I've been there. But trust me, if you don't let it go, the pain is going to eat you alive, okay? And so just really think about that and really sit back and contemplate all this anger that you're feeling and write it down on your own journal, you know, what you feel, and then let it go. Like, burn the paper if you need to. I know I've had to do that sometimes where I write whatever I'm feeling that's negative and it's hurting me, and I write it down and I burn it. You know, of course, be safe. Don't burn down your house. But it really has set me free from the burdens of holding on to that pain. And so I just want to bring that up for you guys who are in that stage right now where you're in a lot of pain and you don't know what to do with that pain. And that's a constructive, more healthy way of doing that, by processing it on your own and doing like a prayer ritual, you know, like just really give it to God, give it to the universe, because it should not be yours to carry. And once you do that, you'll feel so much better. And when you guys come to my channel, I want you to feel lighthearted. I want you to feel hope. I want you to feel like this is just a temporary situation and your person's going to come around, because they are. You know what I mean? And it may not be in our own timing, right? It's going to be in God's timing. And so once you accept that and you start focusing on your journey and how, you know, how you can bring other people into this knowledge about unconditional love, then everything else will fall into place. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to say that because it was really in my heart to bring it up to you. And I felt like, you know what, I'm going to say it here in the beginning of the reading. But anyways, I hope that was at least insightful, helpful. And, you know, if you don't like it, that's okay. Maybe I'm not the type of reader that you need to be watching. Maybe we don't connect, and that's okay. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I'm fine with that. You know, I'll be happy to still be here when you guys are ready out of that stage to come to my channel and look for hope and insight. But if you're in a stage where you don't want to hear it, then anything that I do is not going to help you because you're in a different state of mind. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to connect with my readings. And so, and I'm not saying this because I want you guys to tell me what I want to hear or, you know, be fake or anything like that. It's just that it can't, it's just something that I had it in my heart because I put a lot of time into these readings, and the last thing that a reader wants to see in their comments is people saying, no, this doesn't resonate, and no, this is not my story. And like, you guys, that's okay if it's not your story. This is a collective reading. And so you don't have to take it to that level and be negative about it. Just keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not your story, if it's not your reading, then click off. You know, it's not a big deal. And so maybe another day it will be your story. And also, I would like to say that if it's not your story and you would like to know your particular situation, that's when you can book a personal reading with me and we can actually look into your exact situation, okay? And I am open for readings. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way because it was just really in my heart. And I just want you guys to feel lighthearted and happy and hopeful when you come to my channel. And the last thing I want you guys to end up doing is seeing other people in that hurt stage and commenting their negativity. And it's like, it's not going to help the situation for anybody. Okay. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. On the reading for the Divine Masculine, let's find out. I'm going to do this one like a sexual desires type of energy because I do have a Twin Flame Hunger Vampire Edition and the Twin Flame Tarot Opium by Fire Witch Tarot. So we're going to use that as the overall messages. So it's going to be a little bit sexy, and so just FYI. Okay. All right, so let's find out. What does the masculine want to talk about today, Spirit? Immaturity, still discovering themselves, lacking emotional maturity, light and fun connection. Wow. So he wants to talk about being immature, you know. I feel like he's still trying to find out who he is as a person, or she. Like I said, I read energy as a masculine as a male and then divine feminine as female, but it doesn't have to be. So you can reverse the roles as they resonate. And so I feel like your masculine is only going towards light and fun connections because that's the only level that they can meet that other person where they're at, right? Yeah, so he might be a little bit deluded, delusion at the bottom. False beliefs of the other, thinking love exists and it doesn't, not accepting reality. And that's part of not being emotionally mature, right? And so let's just find out, what does he want to talk about? You know, I feel like he understands that he is operating out of being delusional because once he takes off that blindfold, then he can actually be more mature. So I feel like he wants to talk about that today. So let's see. What does he want to say about immaturity? Dark negative forces are intervening. Wow, look at that snake. So this is like his shadows too. So not only is he a little bit immature, but he's dealing with dark shadows, right? That are interfering with how he interacts with you, with what's ailing him. But at the bottom of the deck, we have everlasting, passionate love, but he still feels this love for you. Okay. And snakes also represent transformation, rebirth. So, wow, speaking of rebirth and transformation, we have in transition. So, usually this deck does have messages, but so far it seems like the cards that have come out are not so far messages, but that's okay. Look at that. Then we have bottom of the deck, broken reflection, struggling to find self. Yeah, so he has a skewed way of seeing himself, but I feel like now because of your love, he's in transition to see himself differently, and this is going to help him to mature. So let's just see what he wants to say about this. Dark negative forces are intervening. Or you know what? Why is delusion here, Spirit? I'm holding grudges I need to release. Oh, wow. Interesting. Even this cards kind of look similar because their hands are closed off, right? So this is somebody that struggles with sticking to what they think about the other person, and that's why they're holding on to grudges and not accepting the reality, right? Because they're only seeing life from their point of view. So that's why they're a little bit delusional. Okay. Let's just see what else. Why is dark negative forces here, Spirit? What does the Divine Masculine want to say about that? Wow, I'm cleaning myself up from old habits. Exactly. So I feel like he's basically accepting that he knows that he needs to clear out his energy from these shadow aspects that he hasn't dealt with. So he knows that he needs to clean himself from these old habits, right? And go through that transformation. Let's see what else. Why is everlasting passionate love here? My cup runneth over. Wow. So I feel like he's definitely has a lot of love for you that's overflowing. And that's why it's an everlasting passionate love. Look at that. Bottom of the deck, it says, Spirit is protecting you from me. So I feel like until he clears out his energy with this negative shadows that he's dealing with and matures, Spirit is keeping him from you and protecting you. But his cup of love still overflowing for you. What does he want to say about this in transition? I want to feed off your energy. So, so I'm getting here that he knows that you are, hold on. My throat started irritating me. So when it comes to being able to connect with you, he knows that he needs to transition. And the way that he knows that he could transition is to feed off of your energy, right? But at the same time, he needs to learn that he has to do that process on his own. He can't be relying on you and then feeding off of your energy, because then he's going to drain you. Yeah, look at that. I'm in a ruthless phase. Exactly. Look how he drained her. So I feel like this is what he's learning. He's learning on how to be like you apart from you, right? And that's what Spirit is protecting you from him so that he won't drain your energy. Why is broken reflection here? What does he want to say about that? Euphoric lovemaking. So I feel like he loses himself in sex, you know? And so this is also a way for him to avoid looking at himself by losing himself in other people. Look at that. My energy is being drained. But I feel like he's noticing when he's having these energy exchanges with other people, his energy is being drained. You know, he's not filling his own cup. And therefore, he's going to be having a skewed way of seeing himself by trying to feed off of other people. It's just not, it's not a sustainable way of living. That's what I'm getting here. Okay. All right, so let's pull some tarot. Why is dark negative forces are intervening here? Look at that, the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like he had a rough family life in the past, and that's also what's keeping him from being able to move forward. Yeah, the world at the bottom. That's what's keeping him from being able to get out of that cycle, because he hasn't worked out those cycles from his upbringing. Why is everlasting passionate love here, Spirit? The Eight of Cups. It's starting to come out in reverse. So I'm getting here that he wants to come back. But even at the bottom of the deck, it says, Spirit is keeping me from you. And we have a preacher there. Very interesting, right? And then we have the opposite, where he's actually drinking alcohol and smoking a cigarette, you know? So it's like he's not able to be balanced right now. And that's why Spirit is keeping him from you, because he needs to address these things that he's been avoiding that are contradicting who he really is, right? Yeah, see? And that's a devil's energy. The devil's energy is going to keep you from your Nine of Cups to your Ten of Cups, because you're not able to be balanced. You're saying one thing and doing another. So that's why Spirit is keeping him from you. Wow. And he knows that. Why is in transition here? This could also be that because his cup runneth over with his love for you, that he had to walk away because it was too much for him to handle, right? Because he wasn't mature enough to accept it, because it was more than just a light and fun connection. It was a very deep connection. Wow. So in transition with I want to feed off your energy, we have the Lovers. So he's definitely saying he's choosing you once he transitions out of this devil's energy. And he wants to be able to enjoy you and be in your energy. Look at that. Five of Swords. He wants to do some kind of kinky stuff with you too. That's just what I'm getting here, okay? Why is broken reflection here? What does he want to say about that? And euphoric lovemaking. Look at that, the Knight of Wands. I don't know why, but every time we get to this deck, my throat starts bothering me. I feel like he has a hard time. He has a hard time communicating. Maybe he smokes? Because my throat just got really dry. Oh my god. You guys, so if he's in this Knight of Wands energy, this is very in and out. This is why he's just looking to feed off of other people, because he's the type of person that sees how people gravitate towards them and how they get attention from those people, and that is how your person feels loved or worthy. And that's not a good energy, because you need to just feed off of your own energy and your own self-love, not look for it outside of you, because that's how you're going to keep a broken reflection of yourself, because people are going to see you differently than how you see yourself. So this is why he's struggling to find himself, because he's looking for the answers in other people, and that's not how you're going to find yourself, being in that Knight of Wands energy either. Look at that, Six of Cups. So he might be the type of person that learned this from his past, from his childhood. So, very interesting. Why is delusion here? Princess of Cups is like the Page of Cups. So therefore, because he's not he's not being mature and he's holding grudges, both of these people are not even looking. Because this one's blindfolded and this one has a hat. It's like the Fool's energy, somebody that's not very experienced in love, and so when you're very immature, you're going to keep holding grudges, right? I mean, I know I had to grow out of that. So I'm a Scorpio, so we hold grudges all day long. That's like our default setting. But your person knows that they need to apologize for this type of behavior with the Page of Cups. They know that they need to come back and say, hey, I had false beliefs about you because I had a very delusional way of seeing love and not accepting reality. You know, being in a fantasy type of energy. Being in this fool's energy where you're taking a leap of faith and you're not, it's almost like you're being a little bit reckless. Look at that. And we have the Emperor right underneath that. So I feel like your person is acknowledging that with this apology that they want to give to you. And eventually they're going to be able to take a leap of faith and apologize and then be in this Emperor's energy. Wow. So let's just get some clarity to clarify these cards here. We're going to use the Tarot of Sexual Magic. All right, so let's just see. Why is 10 of Pentacles here? The Fool. So yeah, this is somebody that's living life carelessly because they're basing their decisions off of the past, right? And that's what I was saying. The 10 of Pentacles could have been how they grew up in their family dynamic. And they could even be a little bit manipulative with the Magician, right? Since we have the dark negative forces. So this is something that your person learned growing up, and it's about time they get out of that energy and finally mature. Okay. Why is 8 of Cups here, Spirit? Everlasting, passionate love. Strength card. Yeah, so I feel like your love makes your person feel strong. And interesting because strength card is usually the number 8. And here we have 8 of Cups. And then this one is actually number 11. Very interesting. So that adds up to a 10. So I feel like your person feels complete with your love. Like your love never ends. Your love gives them strength. But also it scares them because they never felt this before. So that's why in the strength card you end up holding back as well. Even though they have a lot of love for you and their love is overflowing for you, they're not balanced, right? They can't handle it because too much. And then we have 3 of Swords at the bottom. So they could have ended up, they know that they ended up walking away and breaking your heart and breaking their own heart. So with, oh my gosh, in transition, we have Page of Cups with the Lovers. So I feel like your person is going to come forward. This is the second time we've seen the Page of Cups in this reading. So he wants to come forward and express to you that you are the one that he's chosen. And he wants to also apologize for trying to feed off of your energy. Look at that. We have the Chariot at the bottom. So he wants to come towards you once he transitions and let you know that he picked you. Okay. What about this Knight of Wands energy, Spirit? The 7 of Wands in reverse. So usually 7 of Wands is somebody that somebody that is taking a stand, you know what I mean? Like they're not budging. And so in this one, he's like a Casanova. You see? He's like, come here, girl. So, and it came out in reverse. So I feel like he knows that in order for him to get out of this Knight of Wands energy, he needs to stop taking a stand thinking that this is who he is, because that's a broken reflection of himself. And he's gonna end up losing who he is and what he stands for. He keeps trying to look for love outside of himself. And he's gonna keep missing out on opportunities if he keeps doing that with the 4 of Cups. Why is delusion here with the Page of Cups? Ace of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so since it was saying I was holding on to grudges and, you know, being delusional that you are to blame, I feel like your person with the Page of Cups are going to apologize for not giving you this passionate new beginning that you guys were definitely headed towards. Look at that, the Empress at the bottom. There's two flames here in the fireplace. You see that? And that lady looks pregnant in there. So I feel like your person recognizes that they were delusional, not aware of what love was, because they were in this immature energy, holding on to grudges, you know, trying to be right, not seeing things for what it really was because they were blindfolded, not accepting reality. Like they wanted to accept their truth even if it was wrong. Look at that. Underneath the Empress, we have Ace of Pentacles. But at the end of the day, they really want you. They want to wake up in your arms. Look at the sun pouring in. Like you can tell that he spent the night. Love it. Okay. So I don't have any advice cards, but I feel like, because I switched my setup, I feel like overall your person wants you to know they know that they were immature in this connection, that they were looking for love outside of themselves. But as soon as they make the transition, they're going to choose you and they're going to apologize. And they're going to be able to start over. Going from the 10 to the 0, it's like they're going to end the cycle of being these dark negative energies, devil's energy, and cleaning myself from old habits, right? So that he can finally take a leap of faith and start over with you. But overall, I just feel like there's no question your person has this love for you. I mean, this is why it said, my cup runneth over, everlasting passionate love. But at the same time, your person was not in the maturity level that he could handle it, right? He was only at this maturity level where he could only handle superficial connections. They were still discovering themselves, right? So I feel like with your connection, he's able to finally discover who he is. And it's definitely not somebody that's hateful and selfish. That is somebody that needed to grow. And to start off the reading with the Fool and ending with the Empress at the bottom of the deck as the overall energy, it's like he's finally going to, be... Look at that. We have the Fool and the Empress here too at the bottom of this deck. So he's going to finally be able to tap into his feminine energy because, like I was saying, he was inconsistent with the Eight of Cups, right? Doing one thing and saying another, or saying one thing and doing another. So he was all over the place. So he needed to grow. He needed to learn how to be more mature. And a lot of it has to do with how he sees himself, right? And not relying on people to tell him who he is. I feel like your person didn't get a lot of attention when they were growing up from their parents. And so they got used to having to compete for people's attention in order to feel loved because maybe their parents worked too much, you know? And so that can really do a number on you. And if you haven't worked through that and those wounds, it's going to carry over to adulthood, right? So that's something that you guys got to think about too. You know, it's like a lot of times people take it so personal that this person didn't do X, Y, and Z, but you don't understand that they had a different upbringing than maybe you did, right? And also, usually women mature faster than men, so we're usually more mature than men are. Especially if you're older than your masculine. I know I am older than my masculine. It's like you can't fault that person if they haven't had the time to grow. You know what I mean? Or like the lessons that life gives them to be able to learn a lesson. You can't fault them for that, right? Just like you wouldn't want anybody to fault you for what you didn't know or for what you didn't get to develop within yourself to go from immaturity to mature. So I feel like at least your person's recognizing that he knows he needs to clear out his energy, leave the past behind and start over with the Fool's energy. That's the overall energy at the bottom of the deck. And the Empress is like, at the end of the day, he knows it's you that he wants, that he's supposed to be with, that he's meant to be with. And so he's going to finally transition. He's going to transition from not relying on you to be his sustenance. You know what I mean? He's going to learn to be able to be whole on his own. And you want him to learn that on his own instead of trying to figure out with you. Trust me. But we had, in 2 different decks, we had the Page of Cups twice. So I definitely feel like you're going to get some type of communication soon. Your person's going to apologize, that they know that they were working off of their ego, that they were still discovering themselves, and now they finally arrived to the conclusion that they choose you once they finally elevated in levels as far as like maturity levels. And yeah, so now your person's going to be able to see themselves in a whole new light. But this is what they're letting you know right now, that they're still figuring things out because there's a little bit of immaturity energy here. Okay, guys, so that is your reading. I hope that was helpful. Yeah, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do so by clicking on my link below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!